taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, it's Shitsville, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpio, the New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do is LB, Lauderdale Boss, aka Jesus Shuttleworth, the guy, GOAT artist, nigga, RainGangRadio.com in the building. World is a op, out now. Let's go.
Yes, sir. You know, Ring Gang in the house forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, yo, what's good, y'all? You already know this is your boy King P, Bodega Boxing in the building. Ring Gang Radio all day. Let's go.
Hey, King P, Bodega P, you know what I'm saying, above ground, you know, and he already went through yesterday about who can't enter the bodega, so we don't have to do that again. I'm sure it still sticks. And last but certainly not least, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's fly? It's Conscious Pod, aka the West Coast Avenger, #1 contender preparing for liftoff. Destination Ring Gang Radio. What's fly?
Yes, sir. Conscious Pilot stays elevated above the clouds and no turbulence this time. That's what it is, man. So, yeah, you know, tonight, man, it's all about that pound for pound discussion. You know, this has been one of those. 2022 has actually been a great year for it because for once we've actually gotten fights that have actually moved fighters up or down or out of the charts. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, for the last couple of years, you know, pretty much the list, you know, it hadn't really changed, hadn't really moved all that much. You know, someone would make a brief entrance and someone would make an exit just as quick, you know. But yeah, the first 6 months of this year have been like, yeah, a lot of movement, a lot of like you know, people that are supposedly were number one now they're obviously they're questionable, and then there's, you know, people that are on the list that shouldn't be on there, but, you know, for some reason they still stay. So, but Ring Gang, obviously we had to chime in, you know, as now we don't really have any pound for pound moving fights, at least not until next month maybe, you know, so it's like a perfect time for us to actually go in and chime in like who's not, and we're not doing pound for pound top 10, but we're doing pound for pound top 15 because, like I said, you know, it's been that type of year. You know, because it's like, yeah, it's hard to do. It's actually, for once, it was hard to do 10. So yeah, 15 was definitely the move. So let's get right into this, man. Let me see. So who wants to share their list and, you know, explain like why they have who ranked and whatnot? Don't everyone raise your hand at once.
I'll go first then. Fuck it. I'll go first.
All right, yeah. Pilot, take it away.
I'm actually going to go from 15 to 1. And I want to preface this by, it's really hard to make these lists. From like 6 to 15, you can have 15, 20 fighters. So, you know, there's going to be some glaring omissions, but it is what it is. Number 15, I have one Chocolatito, Roman Gonzalez. Last time out, he had a dominant performance against Chase EM, and he should have won the Estrada fight. And, you know, he's a legend in the sport and hasn't really, you know, tapered off yet. So I have him firmly there at 15. Number 14, I got Josh Taylor. I mean, I think all of us last year or last time we did this list, we had him, you know, probably top 6-ish.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, and he deserved it, you know.
Yeah, he well deserved it. So that's why I still have him on this list, dude. Even though he might have got the gift of the year,
right?
Arguably, you know, decade. So I don't know. It was a pretty bad robbery. I mean, Canelo won that fight, but you can't you can't just dismiss what he did at 140 on his route to be undisputed. So I had to put him over at number 14. Number 13, yeah, I got Tank. I know his resume and everything in between is criticized, you know, and I did have him higher last time, and, you know, he's old, he's getting older now, so it's at the point where I think some of his resume isn't the best, but it's not as bad and horrible as people say. I mean, he has some decent wins. I mean, he can't live off the Pedraza win forever, but
yeah, I think that's the thing too, because it's like Tank. I mean, everyone can clearly see that Tank has talent. Like, the one thing I won't ever criticize. I mean, sure, I criticize him if he's not really in condition and he kind of struggles. But the man can fight and has talent. But it's just like he's not proving it against the best competition, especially in the divisions that he's in.
Yeah, exactly. And I should have maybe put Triple G up there instead or whatever, but I had him there. I had Tank there. He slid a little bit, but he has a talent to be a higher on this list. But obviously, only potential can only get you so far. At number 12, I got Bivol. He had probably he had, I'm gonna say upset, but he won a fight he should have really technically won, but it was against.
Me and LB prefer to call it a heartwarming win. It was a feel-good win of the
year. A coming of, I got you, and he dominated in that win. I mean, again, like any of these guys from 7 to 12, are interchangeable. So right. I can see Bivol being on lists, and I wouldn't have an argument with it. Obviously, we need to see what happens next with them. A lot of matchups at 175. Number 11, I might have hot shot him here, like how they're doing it, but I do have Bam there. I think, being that young and obviously having those 2 wins, I think so far, I think even ESPN named him as the half fighter of the year. I mean, unless Spence beats Bud, and that's in the same year, I think Bam's kind of primed, as long as he wins that fight on the Canelo undercard, to be probably, quote unquote fighter of the year, most likely. I mean, I don't know who else you could say.
Yeah, I mean, and Bam's probably gonna. I mean, even after the Canelo Triple G spot, he's probably gonna fight again at least one more time at the end of the year.
That would be crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think he's obviously it's gonna be a Estrada who dropped his belt and Chocolatito fighting, and I think Bam will end up fighting the winner. So, if he keeps on winning, I mean, you can't deny him. He's taking him by the storm. And he's looking impressed. I mean, the SSR win was pretty damn impressive.
It was.
Number 10, so this is where it gets, proper. I do have Stephen Fulton there. I think all his wins dating back from 2018 and 2017, those guys' records, he's taking zeros, beating guys in an impressive fashion. Obviously, maybe be quote unquote somewhat feather fisted, but he's doing, he's putting on for Philly and doing his thing. And I think he's definitely deserves some recognition to be in the top 10, unified champion 122. So. And it's kind of interchangeable with these 2 coming up. Like Shakur Stevenson's number 9. I think a lot of the consensus is, Shakur's going to be one of, among these lists, top 5, top 3, even top of the list down the line. And this is just the beginning. So, he has a fight on September 23rd against Robson Cuseo. So, we'll see how he does there. But I mean, the talent speaks for itself. I mean,
right.
That win against Valdez, people shit on Valdez now like he was trash, but he was undefeated champion with a belt, and Shakur kind of just blanked him. 11 won him. So
I mean, Valdez. I mean, obviously because he generated a lot of ill will because because he popped dirty and still
the T and shit.
The special T, and he still fought, and then the commissioners kind of turned a blind eye. He didn't get like a slap on the wrist, a fine, or nothing, or much.
And he also robbed Robson, kind of, arguably.
Nah, that nigga robbed himself.
Yeah, he robbed himself. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think Valdez actually won that fight. So I mean, it's just Robson kind of he fucked up.
He fucked up.
Yeah, the most he could ask for is a draw with the way he fought.
Right.
Yeah, towards that second half of that fight. Yeah, but either way, I thought that was a good win for Shakur. I mean, he's definitely going to be. I think he needs to get up to 135 because he could barely make a weight last fight. So he's a big 130, but he's talented as is. Number 8, I got Devin the Dream Haney. I mean, you can't leave an undisputed. I don't care how he got it. He deserves to be on this list. He went to the champion's hometown and took them belts. No controversies. Just jabbed his head off for 12 rounds and did what he had to do. So, I don't care who he beat. Because that's the big thing. Oh, he had the weakest one in his speed. I don't care. He got 4 belts, and that's the end of the story. He has the 4 belts, and it wasn't, didn't have the story like a Jermell Charlo or Josh Taylor, but he deserves to be there.
I agree.
He bet on himself.
The story.
Yeah, and he bet on himself, and paid off so far. And he'll probably be a mainstay on these lists, going forward. I would say. Number 7, I mean, it's got to be, I think, Arthur Beterbiev. Mm-hmm. He's a monster. He's a beast. The way he dismantled Joe, I mean, I think we all thought he'd beat Joe Smith, but not the way how quickly and how brutal the way he did.
Yeah,
God,
he did.
He did, and I think he creeped up on this list. I mean, again, you could put better beef as long as he's in your top 15 or 12, top 10. I think it's okay. Number 6, I feel like I wanted to put him higher because I love Jermell. And he could very well be higher. You could flop with Spence or whatever, but yeah, number 6, I got Jermell Charlo. He had, to me, probably fight of the year and performance of the year. That fight against Castano, he did what he had to do to right his wrongs, and he looked like a complete. There was no flaws in his game that night. It was a great fight.
No, yeah. I mean, he basically that was his best performance to date as a pro.
Yeah.
That
was his magnum opus, I guess you could say. But that was. I mean, I hope we see more of him like that because I don't know.
We just want to see more of him. Period. Like this one fight a year shit that he's on. And like we all put respect to his name, but damn, at least get like 2 in at least.
Yeah, announced in January. Yeah, that's why. I mean, if Jermell fought and beat Zoo this year, he'd probably be fighter of the year. But he's, that's already announced for January 31st, 28 or something, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but either way, I mean, he finally earned his credit, deserves respect, and he's top 5. He's definitely, I have him at 6, but number 5, I got Errol Spence Jr. He jumped up a little for me the way he beat Ugas. I was watching that fight against Ugas. I was like, damn, this thing is a dog. Like, there was that. He did get saved a little bit with that break or whatever, and Ugas kind of was a dumbass, punched him in his chest. But
right.
Just imagine if that was Bud or something. But either way, I got to put Spence there just because he's kind of been around that 5 to 7 range for a while, and I mean, the inactivity and all that. He's still, he got 3 belts in welterweight, so and then obviously we got number 4, Monster in a way. What can be said? I mean, this guy's literally his nickname embodies what he is. He's a monster.
Right.
He takes people out. He don't play no games, and the way he beat it. I know Nonito was older, but I didn't expect him to body Nonito the way he did that quick.
Bodied him,
bodied him, man. He bodied him, and he deserves
bodied him
to
as I was drinking my morning coffee, man. It was that serious.
And I mean, he's at number 4 for me. I see him number 1 on a couple lists, and he can be number 1 on these lists. No doubt about that. The one guy that honestly was number 1, I think, on all our lists, but can't be number 1 on this list is one fan favorite of the Ring Gang Radio, and his name is Canelo Alvarez. Obviously he lost. I don't know if you want to call it a cherry pick, but he lost a fight that I think a lot of casuals and people thought he should have, or he was going to win. He was, I don't know if he was a favorite or not in the odds, but
he was an absolute favorite.
He's absolute favorite. Yeah,
like
I'm like, nigga, how long you been on this podcast? Damn right, he was a favorite. The fuck?
He was a 3-1 favorite.
He was a 5-1.
That's crazy. That's kind of crazy.
Canelo was a 5-1 favorite.
Because when I got back into heavy into boxing, and I was started listening to y'all and everything, I was like, hold on a minute. I hear these 2 names of Better Biev and Bivol, and it's somehow like about being the monsters of that division, and all of a sudden Canelo wants to fight him. I don't know what. Either way, I mean, he lost like 10-2 or like 11-1.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to remember, one guy was wrecking people, and the other guy was decisioning people. So,
yeah, they call him UD4.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know.
Never came across a decision he didn't like.
Yeah, exactly. And showed weight classes exist for a reason. But I mean, at the same time, I can't discount Canelo, his resume. It's still top notch, and he was number 1 so long. I couldn't see him dropping. I mean, I guess you could, looking at my list, you could probably shuffle him below Spence or even Charlo.
Of course you could, nigga. Like,
you could.
Because remember, as soon as you said that, you gave me the list. I was like, nigga, you had to explain that Canelo. Like, how the fuck Canelo still number 3 when most people had him in the top 3 before anyway?
And people had him top 1, 2, or 3 anyway. So again, it's kind of interchangeable in that regard. But
nigga, you a Canelo stan. Just own up to that shit.
The work he's done in this, and he's at a relatively younger age, is impressive, and I can't knock him down that far.
He's the face of the sport. He's supposed to be having the toughest fights. Like, niggas that like he's supposed to be damn kicking his feet up and shit. Like, ain't giving this nigga no pass. Giving this nigga a pass is why he fought Bivol boring ass.
Yeah, he thought he had to get me, but he almost got to get me. I don't know how that 115-113 card happened.
The three blind mice.
Right?
Yeah, that was a trash card. That was a wild card.
115, 113, like.
That's
I
crazy.
thought I was watching Jermaine Taylor versus Canelo. They read them shits. I was like, the fuck? Hold on,
that was crazy. But,
hold on, wait.
I mean, at the same time, he can't deny, he's already a first ballot, Hall of Famer and, whatever. So.
Yeah, man, but still, like, that's the one thing we checking on your list, though, at Canelo, nigga.
No, I feel my list got to have one little controversial eyebrow raiser. That's it. That might be it. We'll see. I still see lists with Canelo kind of high up there, though. I still see lists like with Canelo top 5-ish.
Yeah, because them niggas ain't ring game. We hold Canelo to like an actual standard here.
Yeah, I know.
These niggas be on some like, well, long as he fights Yildirim and Billy Joe and that Plant guy,
Caleb Plant, yeah,
he's the greatest.
And so number 2, I do have Alexander Usyk. It's funny, I see a lot of people putting Usyk number 1 on a lot of these lists, and I have no problem
when you
with
heavyweight
that.
champion,
Yeah. I mean, and what he did at cruiserweight was, remarkable. He's one of the best cruiserweights probably ever, right? Already.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Nah, there's this guy called Holyfield. Like,
yeah, no, I said one of. He's I'm just saying.
He didn't say D. He said one of.
My bad. I thought,
one of. But no, but I mean, Usyk he's a master boxer. He's like, I don't want to throw a shot at Loma, but there's Loma fans. He's like what people talk about Loma about me. I don't know. Usyk is.
No, you absolutely right. You goddamn right about that. Absolutely. Usyk was never no fucking franchise champion. Then he collected his belts the hard way.
Yep, he was with the shits. And he deserves to be 1 or 2 on this list. I think he has a fight coming up within a month or 2 against AJ.
Yeah, less than a month, really.
That'll be. I mean, I don't know. That'll be. We'll see how that goes. But he's definitely a master boxer, and what he did. I mean, how he handled AJ was. I know that was last year, but still, I mean, that was fucking impressive.
Yeah, I really wanted to see. That was one of the fights where I wanted to say what I want, but I was just like, God damn it! I knew Usyk was gonna fuck up some shit. I was so heated. I was really heated. I was like, God damn it! I really wanted. Yeah, that fight had me vexed watching that shit.
That was frustrating to say the least. We'll see how that rematch goes. I'm hyped for it, but we'll see how that goes. Then obviously number 1, I have a 3-division world heavyweight. Three division weight champion, undisputed at 140. Knocked out, I think this is last 8, 9, 10, whatever opponents at 147. I don't care about who he's fighting there, but he's knocking him out and getting him out of there. And his name is Terence Bud Crawford.
Yes, sir.
The most complete boxer in the game, I think. The most vicious killer in the game, I feel like. Once he smells blood and you're hurt, I don't know if you're going to see the night of day.
Yeah. It's refreshing to see a fighter
especially
fight.
if your father's not around with a towel,
He was going to beam Porter up. But either way, he did get that
still
stoppage.
though, I mean, but if your dad is hanging around somewhere with a towel, then hey,
throw it out there. Yeah, that was a little suspect in a sense, but I
mean, this rig game, we gonna have our jokes.
I don't know if Porter was gonna make it out, but either way, he got the stoppage and he got the win. And I mean, obviously, we know we're waiting for that matchup. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, for now, I think that'd be my list. That's what I got.
Yeah, I mean, and for the most part, I mean, other than the Tank inclusion, because like I said, I mean, obviously everyone's heard, my thoughts on Tank.
Yeah.
I mean, everything made sense. I mean, Bam is kind of. I know you said kind of like it was in the moment, and Bam seems to be doing good things right now.
It's kind of high for him, yeah.
Yeah, you had your list had old media boxing vibes.
Old or new? Which one?
Now you had old, but then you got a little new because it's like the old with the Canelo and the Bam love.
Yeah,
but then it's like you was trying to be on some like. Hey, this is for the streets. I got Tank here. Look,
I got it. Yeah. But also, like, I just feel like looking at my list, I just feel like Charlo deserves to be higher. But
you made this fucked up list, nigga. I be telling you, motherfuckers, like, look at y'all shit. Y'all y'all had so long to look at this shit, especially with King P taking forever with his shit. Like
I'd be updating it. I mean, I'd be like I randomly have my notes be like kind of updating my list here and there, and Charles deserves more love. Charles is a top 5 pound fighter, but it is what it is. Yeah.
So it's gonna take niggas to lose or something come this the rest of the year. So
I don't know. 1 and 2. I mean, 1 and 2 might very well lose in their next fights. But in Usyk, maybe.
And then Canelo would so if Canelo beat Triple G, then he's number 1 again.
Oh no, we got to see how it goes. Let's
not put horrible things like that in the air, people. Like,
no, my bad.
Let's keep everything positive.
If Triple G when Triple G knocks out Canelo, where does Canelo go?
Yes, sir. Okay, good. That's positive. That's
is he just gonna go to number 5?
Nah, Canelo. He would drop significantly. He'd be on this list, but I don't know where.
I mean, the only place I see that nigga drop significantly was he dropped 2 on 2 people's list.
So you're looking at both from last year this year. Damn.
Yeah, the 2 light skinned niggas with some integrity.
Okay.
Sound like damn Stan Marsh from South Park, integrity.
Oh man, no, but but honestly, like I say, your list is pretty modern. Like it's a mixture. So I mean, I have nothing bad.
You got a pretty safe list, like
yeah.
Like if you're not trying to piss off old boxing media, but you trying to like get inside a Twitter space, with the tank shit. So yeah. How are we rating this list? Are we giving it a grade or what we doing? This list is like a solid B to me.
Yeah, I'll take the B.
Yeah, like I said, your list is safe. It's like nothing offended me. Like Tank is low. I mean, if you had Tank in the top 10, then we would have some problems. Like we would have problems. And then then it'll be like C, and then you have to explain yourself thoroughly. Why
I mean with the Tank stuff, like he's gonna eventually fight somebody. I don't want it to be Valenzuela or Rivera, but that's
damn this nigga. But Pat, this nigga's already like, damn, I had to explain myself with Canelo. Like, just a man's rather say for Tank. Like,
yeah, but we'll see. I mean, I think everybody wants to see that Bud Canelo fight. I mean that Bud Spence fight. So
sure, I'll see Bud Canelo too at this point. Shit.
But so LB, bro. So I mean,
nigga, I ain't going next, nigga. Fucking King P going next, nigga. I had to wait too long for this nigga list. We ain't waiting no more. That nigga next.
Oh yeah, I was gonna go next anyway. So,
all right then.
Whatever. And it didn't take me long. It wasn't the coming up with the list. It was sending the list that took the long time. So.
Yeah, all I know is that shit. Your ass push this back like 2 weeks randomly somehow.
Whatever.
So you getting a great introduction with this one. Like, folks, we about to get the bodega banter. That list.
All right, fresh out the bodega with my top 15. All right, so I'm ready. Okay, so I'm gonna do it like down from 15 to 1, like Pilot did. So number 15, and this was also like a kind of a like spur of the moment. I don't want to say spur of the moment, but 15 I put Bam Rodriguez, just because of he came up and wait at the last minute to win a champion in a super flyweight, and beat Quadras, then went out and knocked out the Rat King. So it was like. So I was like, damn, like he did what nobody else did. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta give it to him. I gotta give him that 15th spot. So that's why I was waffling back and forth though between Bam and Chocolatito for 15. So I could see why Chocolatito should be on there too. So, but I went with Bam for the spur of the moment. 14 is Mr. Juan Francisco Estrada, who's not in good standing with me, but I couldn't take him completely off the list You know,
I mean, he's been completely off our minds, though.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't
he hasn't
remember
fought in a year.
that.
Yeah, he hasn't fought in a year. But you know, and the last time we saw him fought, you know, he got a win that we most of us argue he shouldn't have. But it was an official win, so I'm gonna say okay, whatever. And so I think the last time I had him in the top 10, so I dropped him down. So I didn't drop him out the top 15. So you know, his resume is good otherwise, except for that bullshit. You know,
well, these Mexican niggas could do no wrong.
No, but I wanted to. I trust me. If this was a normal top 10, he wouldn't be on there. So, and he's teetering. So, we'll see. He might be off by September.
Damn.
Number 13 is Mr. Kuzuru Ioka.
Underrated name.
What?
It's an underrated name.
Yes, underrated name, underrated fighter. Oh, he's a 4-division champion. It's a hell of a resume, and he just avenged the last loss he took to Dane Nietes, even though most people question him even losing the first time, and then he dominated him the second time around. So, you know, he was higher the last time around. I think he was in my top 10, but I put him lower because other people had their performances kind of just passed him by, not because of him though. So
right.
So, and now comes the people that passed him by. Number 12 being Dimitri Bivol. I mean, how could he not be on there with his dominating win over Canelo Alvarez?
I like the use of the adjective. Yes, dominating. Good.
I mean,
good word.
Yeah, it's like he was dominant. Like he was everything else was his other performances were you know, he did what he had to do, but he was Devol and it was ho hum. So
yeah, I'm just happy that we live in a world where Craig Richards gave Bivol a tougher fight than Canelo.
Yeah. So it's like we went from ho hum unanimous decisions to high quality unanimous decisions. So
DLC upgrade.
Yeah. So I had to put him in the top 15, you know, off the strength of that. And before I had Canelo number 1 pound for pound. So it's like you dominated the guy that I put number 1 pound for pound. How could I not put you on the list? So
right, I
put him on number 12.
God damn! Imagine dominating the number 1 guy and you only get number 12 though.
I mean,
jeez.
But it's not like he did. Like, if it wasn't for that, he wouldn't be on this list. So, you know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, I feel you. And then, you know, but I feel you. Like he, you know, top 15 is still crazy. So my bad.
Yeah. Number 11 is Mr. Shakur Stevenson. Yeah. Won the title off of Jamel Herring, then unified and dominated Oscar Valdez. So, you know what I'm saying? The guy has to be on the list. Plus, you know, he got the eye test. He's got all the goods, and he's gonna make his way higher on my list as time goes by. But I could see him being higher now. So, but I put him 11. So, some of these are interchangeable. Like the higher you go, like I could see him as high as 8. So,
nigga,
like,
it's your list.
Yeah,
Pilot
it's just where I put him at. So.
No, I feel that. I mean, again, like
I'm thinking in comparison to other people's lists.
Okay.
Number 10 is Josh Taylor. He still made my top 10 pound for pound, even with his horrible performance against Jack Catterall, that he should have lost. But,
don't worry, he got bullied into the rematch.
Yeah, he got bullied into the rematch. You know, and he's still undisputed. Well, no, he's not even undisputed anymore because he dropped the belts. But he's still undisputed. Yeah, he's still undisputed until like, somebody picks up the
fuck
belt.
All that shit. Like,
yeah,
once you collect all 4, it's like they're like shadow belts at this point afterwards.
Yeah,
like, whether you do what you want with them.
Yeah, so for all intents and purposes, he's still undisputed. So I couldn't drop him that far. So he went from top 5 to top 10. So not too much of a drop, but still.
He did drop 2 belts, but he still got undisputed. You're right, though.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, nobody won.
Are we gonna give a damn about who else gets a belts now at 147? I'm sorry, at 140 until Josh Taylor loses
or moves up. He's moving up right after Catterall. So then everybody else can
and
have.
that's if he wins.
Yeah. Well, everybody else.
I'm gonna look at Catterall as undisputed.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true. But if he wins and moves up, then everybody else can fight for his little scrap while he moves up.
Right. Yeah. No, I agreed.
So, Josh Taylor. Number 9 is a new entry into the top 10. Another undisputed guy, Mr. Devin the Dream Haney. He beat the man. So, could not put him on there. Plus, had a win over Jojo Diaz. So, had some quality wins even before the undisputed. So the undisputed just puts him in top 10. Couldn't deny him that. So he's the guy at 135.
yes, and not fucking Ryan Garcia and his "I don't need the belts" bullshit. Man, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give him any time of day. This is a top 15 pound for pound, something that he's not qualified to be in. So I'm not gonna give him anything. So that would be for another day. So.
I don't need your fucking pound for pound list.
Yeah, pound for pound list for geeks. I'm selling tickets. Nah, fuck you. Okay, I'm done. No stop. So, number 8 is, as Pat would say, Mr. Saul Canelo Alvarez. The once number 1 pound for pound on my list. Had to drop him down to 8. He's still on the list because he's still undisputed at 168.
But see, that's a proper dropping. You see how that looks, Pilot.
So
when someone loses, they don't just stay there.
And it wasn't just that he lost. I'll be completely honest. If Canelo had lost to Bivol in a more competitive fight,
he gave up. Yeah, he gave up.
I would say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna drop him. But I probably would have had him 5. I wouldn't have had him lower than 6 but he looked so bad and was dominated so badly. Fuck the weight whole thing. Oh, well, he dared to be great. He already won a title at 175. I'm not gonna.
I mean, whether he would have really lost a true 115, 113 fight,
if he
lost to a motherfucker that he was a 5-1 favorite.
Yes.
Whether he would have earned a good fight out of it or not,
no, he still. I'm telling you, I still would have dropped him down regardless. But to me, it's also the way you lose. The way you lose means just as much as you losing.
Yeah. Instead of going down to number 5 or 6, that nigga went to 8. So now I get it. So yeah. You got dominated. You didn't look like a number 1 pound for pound fighter. So no, I'm dropping you all the way down. So you're at number 8. He would have been knocked out. He would have just been number 11, I guess.
Yeah, basically. Number 7 is Philly's own cool boy Stephen Fulton, unified champion. I know a lot of people, a lot of people, don't, look at him oh well, they think he lost, to Figueroa. I get it, but. I thought he won the fight. He unified. He got the official win, and then he dominated Danny Roman like nobody else has. Danny Roman is a hell of a fighter, and I have the utmost respect for Roman. He dominated him better than MJ did.
Well, he had the best version to dominate.
Facts, he did though. He did.
Mm-hmm. So true, but he dominated him regardless. So beat his ass, showed levels. And he just looked like a top 10 pound for pound fighter in that fight. So I had to put him top 10, 7. So, and he can go up if he fights the right fights. Because if he fights MJ and beats MJ, just letting you know he's moving up the list.
Of course.
Yeah, we just have too many colors in the top 5 now. What's wrong here now? Wait, chill.
I don't know. You're making it the black for black list. Oh well.
Yeah, oh man, that one guy gonna lose his shit.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, well, it's the black for black list, and my response will be, well, you're blacklisted from the bodega. Fuck you. So. But yeah, number 7 is Fulton. Number 6 is Artur Beterbiev, the monster at 175. In his resume and him dominating Joe Smith in a fight that a lot of people picked Joe Smith to win that fight, and he dominated him in 2 rounds.
Hey, y'all gonna have to start calling this nigga something else than the fucking monster, because both y'all niggas did that shit. Like,
I didn't realize it, but he's a beast. The beast.
yeah, there's only one monster. Get
Sorry,
this Berlanga shit out of here.
He's the beast. Paint him blue and he could be an X-Men. So
Shit, yeah, I could see that.
And Lord, get him a fight with Bivol, and if he wins that, yeah, he's in top 5 too. So
Yeah, this is gonna be the longest top 5 ever. This is like New Yorkers with the top 10.
Yeah,
Everybody's gonna be in top 10. Like,
I was like,
you know,
hold up, honorable mention, the honorable mention list. Like,
top 10.
yeah, New Yorkers, we have we can have a top 10 honorable mentions list. They go along with
That
our
should
top
be
10.
25 spaces deep or some
Yeah. Yep. But Better Beef is number 6. Number 5 is Errol Spence. His resume and him being another once again getting another belt, beating the piss out of Ugas. We endorsed that at Ring Gang because Ugas needed to sit down somewhere, and Spence made him sit down somewhere. So hopefully he's okay. Hopefully your eye's okay, but you got the piss beat out you. So so I moved up Spence to that. He's the guy at 147, and then his next fight will determine who's really the guy at 147. But I'll talk about that guy in a later date, like in 5 minutes. In a later date, I mean 5 minutes. Number 4 is Jermell Charlo. And a lot of people would be like, well, 'cause I had somebody that look over my list, like, you put Jermell over Spence? Absolutely. Jermell has been deserving of being this high in the pound for pound list for a while, and motherfuckers do not want to put him on their list. Like, getting him on the top 10 was a fight in and of itself.
Pulling teeth.
Yeah,
Yo,
like,
y'all can go back to that episode. Mel, can Black American fighters do enough? Like, when we discuss all that, yeah, good shit.
He's the undisputed at 154. All these guys, all the guys, coming up at 154, he beat them all, and he beat the guy that a lot of people thought he lost to in a fight of the year candidate. So, he beat him up and knocked him out. Made a statement. He's undisputed. He's the guy. So you got to put him up there. So he's number 4 on my list. Number 3 is one Terence Bud Crawford. The three-time 3-division champion. Lineal at 135 and 140. Undisputed at 140. WBO champion 147. Got probably the best win of his career in his last fight against Sean Porter.
Nigga, that's like 17 people best win of their career now.
This nigga here.
I'm just saying, like,
that is true. That is true. Poor Sean. he's the Showtime for everybody else. What the hell?
All right.
So, but and the stoppage withstanding, I'm not going to get into that because I'm not going to spend this pound for pound list going in on Kenny Porter. So I'll save that for another day, please. So I can understand people putting Bud, Bud is in my mind should be top 3, whether you put him 1, 2, or 3. So I put him 3. Number 2 is Alexander Usyk, who don't even think he was on my list this time. He made the biggest jump because he wasn't even on my list that time. But I'm also not a fan of putting heavyweights on a pound for pound list. But now this is a different, special occasion because he was undisputed at cruiserweight and now unified at heavyweight, beating that a lot of people think the guy at heavyweight so far, Anthony Joshua, whether you want to argue Joshua or Fury, but Joshua was a top 2 guy and he beat a top 2 guy, so unified at heavyweight. So now I got to put him at top 2. So it is what it is. Plus with the skills, so it is what it is. So Shout out to Usyk. And then number 1 is Mr. Naoya Monster Inoue. I mean, he's the monster. Champion at 3 divisions, dominant in all of his fights. Beat guys that other fighters struggle with. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and, who'd he fight? And how was that guy good? Do your Googles, nigga. Like,
right.
Fuck out of here.
Absolutely.
Like, if you don't know the lower weights, just say that. I do, so I'm not going to explain myself to you peons. So, not y'all, but the listeners that want to be detractors, whatever. And has 2 wins against Donaire now. Now he's stopped him in 2 rounds before I even got to eat my bagel, because I ordered a bagel and I'm eating it, and all of a sudden he knocks him out. Like, what the hell? So, and people say, well, Donaire has all these losses, all yada yada. That's true. He does have those losses, but one, he's coming off a string of very good wins, and this was at 118. Outside of Inoue, nobody's ever beat him at 118. Nobody's ever beat him lower than 122, except for Inoue, and he dominated him. So when you put together that and the other fighters he's beat and the titles he's won and the eye test, because like Inoue, just if you know what you're watching, he just looks like a skilled fighter. Like everything about him is just elite skills. He's not just power, just the boxing, the timing. Like he's almost like a damn, like if Inoue and Pacquiao were the same size, I think you could say Inoue is the better fighter, and I wouldn't look at you crazy. He's that skilled. He's elite of the elite of the elite. So he's number 1 on my list. So that's my top 15.
That's what it is, man. And I'm just reading some of Android's comments on there. But yeah, I mean, Donaire was on fire. Yeah, I mean, he beat Ubali. Yeah, like, I mean, like Donaire put in work, so you can't really discredit that win. Like if dude was faded before he got knocked out, that would be one thing. But dude was on a real streak. So yeah, I mean, you gotta put respect on Monster putting away Donaire like he did. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, if you don't, then you're just hating, like straight up and down.
I co-sign that, Android. Donaire was on fire. He beat an undefeated Olympian Ubali by KO, and I picked Ubali in that fight, and I was wrong. The old man, pulled another one out. So
and he beat the under Filipino dude too.
Yeah. Yeah, so but for your list, P, like I mean, I don't really have any any negative things to say about it. I mean, it's a good list straight up and down. I mean, well, other than Bam being on there, but at least you have Bam at 15, so I get it.
The list is actually solid. Like it's like a B plus, maybe an A minus. Like,
hey, I mean that's why. That's
I guess my biggest gripe would be like, fucking what's this dude? Number 14.
Ioka or no?
Nah,
Estrada.
Ioka deserves it.
Yeah, Ioka.
Estrada.
Yeah, Estrada. Like you could make a case Ioka deserve higher if you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than that, Fulton 7. That's a little high, but you could make a case for that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like his list, there's nothing glaring like you're kind of like pissed at or not. And it's not like the Canelo number 3, what's his name list. Yeah.
Hey, one of these lists got Canelo at 5, man. Leave me alone.
Yeah,
but I mean, at least he acknowledged the nigga lost though. Like, like everybody like
one, but whatever.
Like okay, like on P list, Canelo fell down some stairs. on Pat list, that nigga, like, let me see, he tripped over some shoes or some shit. Yo list, he just like took a half step or some shit. I don't know. Like at least there's like varying degrees.
Yeah, but let's say, Canelo, it's all about the drop for Canelo. Like Canelo has to drop. Like you can't, there's no way he could be number 1. So I guess, I guess I'll go next. With my list.
Educated list. Okay.
Yeah, like number 15 is Estrada. Now I realized dude,
talk about this nigga.
Yeah, Estrada is kind of low key pissing me off because dude is moving kind of foul. Like now, I mean, I'm not up in the roar like everyone else about the Estrada Chocolatito 2 rematch and everything like that. I wasn't, whatever. But how dude moved after that is driving me insane. Like, dude, he's either sick or injured or or he's being ordered to fight someone but doesn't want to do it. I mean, it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? And it's worse because he's the actual lineal champion at 115. Like, so it's like, dog, what are you waiting for? Like, you're all this way. I mean, all this waiting is like, it's got to catch up to you. Like, I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing. Yeah, that's the only. And like I said, I mean, if he doesn't fight this year for any type of thing, by the time we're ready to do this again for the, in early January, yeah, he's coming off the list. Like, you can't be out here just fucking around like you be doing. Like, bruh, like, you have all these fights. Fight somebody. Like, I know you want the Chocolatito fight or whatever, or you could have at least unified with Josh Franco at least, because you got some ring rust, motherfucker. So, yeah, that's why he's 15. But yeah, he January, if he doesn't fight, he's coming off the list. 14 is Triple G. Now putting Triple G this, he unified this year, and it was a great, it was a good, borderline great win and stuff like that. The only thing with Triple G is putting him like that, and he's unified, is his activity. I mean, I know right now he's 40, so I know he's not gonna be on some, not like how he used to be fighting like 3 fights a year and all type of shit like that. But and he's still clearly the number one middleweight right now. I mean, but a Canelo win, if he beats Canelo in September, then yeah, he'll go back in the top 10. Like, he'll shoot right back up into the top 10. Because I mean, I know most people pretty much as soon as he lost, people took him off the list and act like this, like, dude wasn't a problem, and that was a problem for me. Like, no, Triple G is still, like, even now, Triple G is still a hard person to beat. He's a hard person to hurt, and if you stay too late and if you fight too hard against him, you end up getting hurt. So, but yeah, Triple G definitely can go back up into the top 10.
Yeah, they tried to erase that nigga. Word to Max Kellerman.
Yeah, they really tried to say like, oh, like, he was never that great, even though all them niggas like,
yeah, he's borderline Hall of Fame. Yeah, like,
yeah.
Anybody who ever gives them those title defense length numbers, they like usually automatically Hall of Fame. But
yeah, like 20 straight, 21 straight or some shit. Yeah, that's right.
21, 20 straight like defenses. Like, yeah, but
that number is I don't know, because I was on Twitter, because they were like kind of calculating that of,
they try to retroactive some of it.
Yeah,
like,
but it's still at least 12.
The first title.
It's still at least like 12, 13, 14, somewhere around those. But it's still, he has quite amount of defenses, but it's not like 20 when you like count the actual number and like the technicality behind it. But I get it.
Right. Thank you, WBA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Triple G can get a win against Canelo in September. He's back in the top 10. Number 13 is Lomachenko. Now, Lomachenko is a contract. Now, on a lot of the old media,
fuck that nigga.
Yeah, Lomachenko, for whatever reason, stays in the top 10, even though he hasn't done. Even though the second that he lost to Teofimo Lopez, he hasn't done any top 10 shit lately. He's won a couple fights, yes, but dude, other fighters have clearly. Right, yeah, but other fighters have clearly passed him right now in terms of recent accomplishments. Not taking away the stuff that he's done. I mean, he's a 3-division champion, and he could have been an undisputed lightweight champion if he had just, take Devin on instead of giving the franchise shit. But yeah, so I had no sympathy for him when he said, no rematch clause or nothing like that. But Lomachenko, I don't think he's gonna move anything. I mean, I know for him the Haney fight's looming once he gets past Kambosos again. So yeah, we'll see. But I mean, that fight's not gonna happen until sometime in 2023. So depending on how these fights move, I mean, Lomachenko will probably stay within that range going forward. Number 12 is Fulton. Like I said, Fulton is a dog. Like I said, I think highly of him. He unified belts and everything like that. he has the questionable win over Omar Figueroa. Not Omar, Brandon Figueroa. And like most people thought either was a draw or Figueroa actually won. And truthfully, he probably needs to run that back. But the way that he dominated Danny Roman in his last time out, dude is starting to peak. And really, the Aquadelia fight is the only fight for him at 122 that will actually move him higher. And because Aquadelia has the other two belts. Now, it's gonna be interesting because now PBC and Hearn gotta work together. Because literally, there's no other fight for Fulton out there, and Fulton wins that fight, he goes up into the top 10. He'll be up there for sure. There's definitely Fulton. Like I said, I think highly of him because, like I said, even though he doesn't have a lot of power, dude has a work rate out of this world. Like he'll stay in the pocket and bang if you need to. So I fuck with it. So and he's definitely done more than what Lomachenko's been fucking doing. So yeah, so 12 is where I came from now. 11 is Bivol. Now obviously, he had, like I said before, he had the feel good win of the year. Dismantling, one Saul Canelo Alvarez. In boxing, in wonderful boxing. And Bivol is not someone you'd actually really want to rewatch too. If you've seen his other fights, dude, he does his job working. He's clearly forgot how to knock out somebody, but he still knows he still boxes at a very high level. I've sat ringside at his fight of his before against Joe Smith. So dude has always been a problem, but I think Bivol's it's the opponent that brings the best out of him. So when you have when you have a ginger, whose face turns red, who takes questionable substances in his body, be wearing questionable knee braces on his legs and thinks he's gonna power punch everyone 168 and up. That's the stuff that got him. That's stuff that got him motivated to do work. Seeing memes of him being called Dimitri Mayweather was wonderful, but he's had too many of these off-brand fights where he's just not fighting top contenders like that. And I would put him in the top 10. But yeah, dude needs to fight some notable fighters. The Better Beef fight is his legacy fight right now. Better Beef Bivol is the fight for them. Bivol wins that fight, and hell, he'll find a place in the top 10.
Well, that's if Aram lets it happen, because Bob is like, fuck that. Bivol doesn't do any money. That's we don't want to make that fight because it doesn't do any business. That's Sleepy Bob is saying that.
Better Beef has 3 belts. So eventually you're gonna have to make it's gonna be especially if Bivol beats Canelo again, which I'm pretty sure he's gonna be a big favorite to do that. You're gonna have to make the fight. Of course, maybe Bivol has to knock out Canelo to actually make you say, okay, this might be a good fight. But
hey man, that's just Sleepy Bob being Sleepy Bob. He might mean that today, but not tomorrow.
Oh yeah, the man is 90 years old, man. So some days are different for him than others. What I'm saying?
We all remember that yesterday I was lying. Today I'm telling the truth.
Right.
Yep.
And I've actually been around him and I talked to him too. And he changes the weather. Dude will be lucid 1 minute, and the next minute, his handlers is kind of moving him aside. He doesn't really know what he's doing or where he's at. It's he has his moments. I'll say that. For number 10, I got Shakur Stevenson. Now Shakur is now really showing pound for pound talent. Shakur. I really was impressed. After the criticism he got for the Nakatia fight, he was like, you know what? I can, yes, I can box, but I can make sure I can up my offense, just making sure, that I'm thoroughly beating up my opponents. And he did that with Herring, stopped him, and then he boxed the shit out of Valdez, and grabbed 2 belts and a ring belt at that. So, right now, Stevenson right now is on his way up. Now, how long he's going to stay at 130 remains to be seen. And
did he's gonna move up probably after this. After this fight, they're talking about they want him to fight Lomachenko. Like Bob wants to make that fight. So we're gonna see him move up to 135 very soon.
Yeah, but I mean, like I say, it would have been nice to because I know Joe Cordina, the IBF champion at 130, was calling him out to. And personally, I think that would probably be a good fight too. But would Bob make that? Who knows?
And Bob already said once again, there's no money in that fight. There's no money in Undisputed at 130. Fuck that. Like he literally said all that. But Sleepy Bob at it again.
Right. So I mean, obviously going up to 130 and he fights Lomachenko. I mean, he can go. I mean, like I said, for him, it's only up for him. Like I mean, I don't see him really going down the list. It's just but at least now he's definitely he's solidified in my top 10. Number 9 is Devin Haney, and like I said, if you heard me talk about him before, man, like I said, fucked up deal and everything like that. Still had to deal with the criticisms, the Linares fight, then the wonderful fight he had with Jojo Diaz. And then and then just getting back into a situation, and then luckily Lomachenko decided to stay his ass in the Ukraine, and then Kambosos pretty much was checkmated. And even though Kambosos and DeBella was like, yeah, you're gonna have to do this, that, and the third, Devin accepted all those terms, went in there, and gave Kambosos a boxing lesson and a half, and then unified and took the other 3 belts away. So yeah, and he did it at 23. So that's the type of shit that impresses me. Like I mean, you don't see young fighters sacrificing the way he has. Now Haney can. I mean, right now Haney's the man at 135. Now, unfortunately, I mean, obviously the fights to Tank, and someone like Tank would probably would be a great fight to make, but Tank's handlers have to let him loose, and and unfortunately his Mando. Ryan Garcia doesn't want to be great. He wants to be great for TikTok and Instagram, not the boxing ring. So,
and the Emperor is invoking his claws, so it doesn't matter anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
The Emperor,
yeah, the Emperor of the Art of War.
Yeah, deception.
yeah. The art of deception. Son George, whatever.
Fucking Kambosos, man. When he became champion, he just said anything, man, didn't he? And that's
and where did that get him?
Yeah, nothing. A boxing lesson where he got dominated by a jab. Not even right hands. Like I mean, at least take some punishment with right hands, but no, he just took punishment by jabs, bro.
I mean, he got hit with right hand. He got hit with every punch. Really, it just. The jab had emphasis on it.
Right.
look how beat up his face was.
Yeah, But yeah, Haney though, I mean, like I said, salute to him. And like I said, I mean, and hopefully he stays in the top 10. Like I said, I mean, dude's a talent in the, like I said, once you get past Kambosos and then Lomachenko, like I said, yeah, fuck it, go up to 140, man. Continue to do great things. Number 8 is Josh Taylor, and Taylor's pretty much, and Taylor dropped for me because I mean he was definitely like in my top 4 or 5 or whatever. But yeah, the Catterall fight was one thing. Now, obviously, bad fights happen, and Taylor, I mean, like I said, I cut Taylor some slack because he has fought a murderer's row at 140. Like, I mean, I personally don't like Taylor. I think he's an asshole, but I can't argue with with his resume. It's like it's an elite resume. It's like this ain't no made up Tank shit. Where it's like, well, Rolly's top, was a name. No, that's not a fucking name because he hasn't beaten nobody. Taylor's actually beating some cats. Regardless of the what he did at Catterall, what happened in the Catterall fight, and he's running it back. So it was a slight drop. And I mean, obviously a Catterall fight, I mean, he could stay in there. I mean, depends, as long as the other fighters below that didn't do anything, don't unify or become undisputed again. I mean, Taylor is top dog at 140, so I mean, he's where he dropped, but I mean, he can go up, but just some pieces have to either fall for him to go back up again. Number 7 is Spence. I know. I think. I mean, I'm surprised. I think I have Spence the lowest on the list out of everyone. I'm sure of it. Spence, as I said before, Spence. Yeah, I mean, he unified 3 belts and everything like that. But Spence kind of ruined his own momentum getting into that damn car crash. And I mean, he's had a couple of fights coming from that, slowly regaining some of the form or whatever. But to me, I just want to see him. I just want to give me some more. Like, what can he actually do? And then obviously the Bud fight is still looming. The Bud fight will probably shoot him all the way up into at least minimum, maybe a top 3 rate. He'll be in the top 3 for sure. I just want to see more from him. At this point. And like I said, the Crawford fight is his legacy fight. Number 6 is Beterbiev. Beterbiev wasn't even in my top 10, I think, the last time. But Beterbiev, out of all the other champions, with the exception of maybe Monster, dude is in the division with actual punchers, like probably the most number of murderous punchers in boxing, and he's the top murderer of all these guys. Like, bro, annihilates his opponents. Like, they get fucked up in so many different ways because his power is so crazy. None of the other champions, with the exception of Monster, can actually say that. And he still, he still hasn't gone the full distance yet. And a Bivol fight would move him up there. But yeah, Beterbiev right now, because like I said, what really hurts him is the inactivity, because COVID and then the whole thing with 2020, like fight shutting down when he was actually going to do a Mando. Like, there's a lot of different things with him. And on top of it, he's getting older, so now I mean, he doesn't have a lot of time left to make the big fights, and I mean, he's facing Anthony Yard next, and we all think that's not gonna go long either. But yeah, Beterbiev though, yeah, I mean, respect is due, and he deserves a big fight, and hopefully before Father Time comes knocking. Number 5 is one Saul Canelo Alvarez. Canelo obviously, I think, was number 1, but then the Bivol fight was such a thorough ass whooping. Then compared to the other fights that were above him, like, he had to drop a little bit. The only reason why he didn't drop further is because he's undisputed at 168, and now he's running it back with Triple G for the 3rd fight. Now he's gonna have to, in order for he's gonna have to probably body Triple G. Like, ain't no decisions, ain't no judges love, none of that shit. Ain't no nothing of that. He has to body Triple G this time around, and then maybe he might move around a little bit depending on the situation. But yeah, dude, yeah, and if he loses, then yeah, he'll go farther down the list. He might not even be top 10 if he loses to Triple G. But just for a simple fact, he's 168 undisputed. He's at 5. Number 4 is Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo is the one that Media doesn't even want to put on the fucking list. Like, they don't want him on the list at all. And just like LB keeps on saying, man, like, the list is too black. It's too black. Like, we can only have like 1 black fighter on there, maybe even 2. Having 3 up there, like, what? No. Yeah, no. But his was like, I mean, I don't know. His was just, he was constantly being omitted. Like, dude was actually putting in the work, but constantly being omitted, and it was fucking weird. And the Castano fight showed the rematch showed a mature, like, everything about his strengths and no weaknesses. I mean, it showed just everything, like his power, everything. Like, he broke down a really good, solid fighter and champion, and put it and one with an emphasis, a KO. So yeah, like, and he's now undisputed, and again in probably my favorite division in boxing, because 154, anyone at 154 can get it. Like, it's a dangerous division. Like, jobbers, journeymen, contenders, champion. Yeah, they all have to move carefully, because at any given night, one of them cats can pull off an upset. That's why we have Rosario, being briefly as a unified champion, or we had a Hurd as a unified champion. Shit like that. Or J-Rock being a unified champion. Is that I like that little, I like the mystery of, like, who could be the next champion. But Charlo right now is a top dog in a top division, so definitely salute to him. Number 3 is Monster, and now I was hesitating, because I mean, Monster could easily be 1 or 2 or whatever like that, and I put huge respect on Monster's name. Monster is fucking scary right now. Monster is bodying people that don't get bodied. like I said, outside of Better Beef, he's probably the only other fighter on this I could actually say that about. Monster is absolutely scary right now. Can box, has power, all his punches are just like are all knockouts. Like, and these guys are just getting annihilated left and right. And now he has 3 belts at bantamweight. He's probably 1 belt away. I know they're trying to make the fight against Paul Butler to unifying a division that hasn't seen one in 50 years. And so, I mean, that's
50 years.
Yeah,
that's wild. Thanks.
Yeah, and it's one of the original 8 divisions too. And so I mean, that's a huge accomplishment if he does that. And I know right now, and also Fulton is obviously waiting. So like, yeah, Monster becomes undisputed, then yeah, it will definitely be he can move up to 1, barring a couple. I mean, like I said, he could definitely move up to number 1 if he actually does become undisputed in his next fight. So like, definitely salute to Monster, man. And number 2 is Usyk, and like I said, Usyk was someone I didn't even think highly of when he started coming up. Like, I mean, I know he used to get people vexed on them HBO cards, like him, Vosdek, and Lomachenko, because they used to be bodying. I think body some black fighters, and people used to be like, "Yo, this is like a white supremacist card and shit that HBO was putting on." Niggas was not fucking with that shit. Like, people used to be vexed. But then, like, Usyk, though, when he entered the cruiserweight tournament for World Boxing Super Series and fought like GOAT level fights and winning them, like and like I couldn't deny it. He tied up all the loose ends at cruiserweight, and then he jumped up, and after a couple of heavyweight fights we weren't really sure, then he beats a top 2 heavyweight. Much to my I was not happy about that. I had to sit there on my couch and watch this shit. But I had to respect it because Usyk won that shit clear, and yeah, he holds 3 of the belts, and he can actually he can move up again to number 1, if he repeats the win, and then he'll be on the on the road to unifying against Tyson Fury, which is my personal nightmare, because the undisputed heavyweight champion shouldn't come between Fury and Usyk. That's my actual nightmare, but I gotta respect it. Because those they would be the top 2 heavyweights. They got to do it.
Fury's not fighting Usyk. Stop that.
I mean, Fury says a lot of different things, man. Like, Fury says he's fighting for free. He's retired. It's he'll fight him. Show him that
yeah, come on now. I'll fight him for free. That's how I know he's lying. Like, stop.
He'll fight Joshua because of the money, but I doubt he'll fight Usyk.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, this dude, like I said, Fury says a lot of things. I'm just like, what? I'll just go with you. Once you actually sign something, then that's what that is. Yeah, Fury has been double talking for a decade. Like, nothing is new with that guy. Yeah. I mean, so yeah, like I said, I'm just his actions will speak louder than words. So he can say whatever the fuck he wants, but yeah, but I'm pretty sure he'll probably will take this fight.
But yeah, y'all let this nigga wrap this up, like.
Yeah, and Crawford is number 1 because, like I said, Crawford is the best fighter in the world today, best American fighter in the world today, most accomplished fighter in the world today. I mean, Crawford, bodying everyone since he got to welterweight, needs that Spence fight to actually to be solidified as number 1, and we just want him to fight. Now, if Crawford doesn't fight this year, then yeah, he's going down the list. So yeah, that's my pound for pound top 15. So LB, take it away.
Let me see. Any objections with this grandpa list?
No objections. Now Junior Grandpa can go.
Let me see. His list was decent. I'd give it a B plus, maybe an A, because he did have Golovkin on there. You niggas don't know what a jab look like unless it's coming from a black fighter.
Right.
So, yeah. Let me see now. The Shutterworth list. Oh, wow. Let me see. Since y'all motherfuckers did the reverse, I'm going to do backwards. I'm going to do right verse. Number 1 is the god, the monster of boxing. The motherfucking best puncher in the world.
Yes, sir.
He wields the God of War blades in his fists. none other than Inoue.
Yes, sir.
And he's number one for super obvious reasons if you followed his career like I have. From the beginning, not no bandwagon shit.
Yeah, you know, LB, and I'll vouch for that. Yeah, LB was one I used to, when I was talking boxing with him before all the bringing, so he's the one that kept on bringing them up. One of the few, actually.
So, and you know, he solidified his spot with the Daenerys KO, the massacre. I think I did some artwork of that shit too. Yeah, that's just brilliant.
It is.
So, yeah, you could, you know, holler at the Twitter and the Instagram for all of that. But yeah, he's up there. He's at least top 3 for everybody with some boxing knowledge. Pilot getting there. He close. He got him at number 4, you know. But you know, he at least top 3, however you interchange them. Next up is Usyk. You know, obvious reasons. If he was in a few divisions lighter, he probably wouldn't beat as high, but going from cruiserweight and then piecing up Anthony Joshua in the fight of the year, yeah, he deserves his spot.
I mean, you don't have to say it like that, bro. I mean, you could just.
I mean, hey, man, he pieced that nigga up, dude. Like, they had that man going on a fucking Ken and Ryu journey for trainers and shit.
Nigga, you don't have to be so uncouth, bro.
Nah, I'm just saying, like, the dude literally had like a contest to see which trainer in America could trade him. Like,
damn, that shit hurts. Carry on.
This nigga was learning the art of the Hado. Like, like this was like literally a Street Fighter anime with Joshua, and you know, the thrilling 13th episode will be coming up in September.
Yeah, whatever, bro. Whatever.
Yeah, so y'all tune in for that. And then we have Crawford, who, you know, he's deserved that spot off longevity, and he's had like a nice little cherry on the top of the icing moment with the Porter malfunction. So yeah, his spot's deserved. Basically, depending on how Usyk look in his next fight, how Crawford look, they could be battling for number 1. Especially if it's a KO involved. Because to be number 1 in my book, you gotta have KOs.
Right.
So number 4 is somebody who's nothing but KOs most of the time.
Yeah, it's surprising he didn't even start out like that either.
Yeah, it's like he KO DLC. So some people, they don't pay the membership like each year and they lose it like Thurman did.
Damn.
I'm like,
pay your DLC bill, damn it.
Yo, I ain't with all the subscription shit either, but damn. But yeah, Jermell Charlo, he deserved number 4. Easily one of the best punchers in the game.
yes, sir.
Great resume. He's one of the rare dudes who you could say cleared out of division.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's fought tough contenders for a minute. Like, he honestly should have been a world champion since like 2013.
Right, yeah. That Tony Harrison shit, he didn't lose. It was a close fight, admittedly, but he didn't lose that fight.
Yeah, so, you know, but he's number 1 now. He could be, I mean, he's number 1 in his division now, rightfully. He could be higher pound for pound if he was more active, but it is what it is. Number 5 is Spence. And yeah, I know that's a lot of black people here, but they
right.
Bear with me. You know, we're gonna switch it up a little bit. You know, sorry you got one random guy. Yeah, so number 5 is Spence. Which I feel is cool because I do feel like Jermell's more accomplished in like fighting the best in his division.
Absolutely.
Spence, the Ugas win is good, even though I don't rate Ugas highly. And I felt like Stan Jonas would have did the same thing, really.
Hell yeah.
So there's that. But Spence, he's definitely top 10 pound for pound. You can have him anywhere in there. But I feel like number 5 is a good spot because, you know, you got other people doing big shit too. Number 6, Bitter Beef. It's obvious. Unified light heavyweight champion. Knocks dudes the fuck out, brutalizes them. What more can you ask for? I guess more fights, but you know, it is what it is. The game's the game.
Right.
Number 7, the list gets colorful again. Shakur Stevenson. I feel like how can he not be top 10 pound for pound? Like, you know, even if you don't rate Herring that high, I mean, Oscar Valdez is definitely someone, you know, who's up there. And even if you was, you know, say he was lacking and you was not really up on him before, the fight with Burchell turned that around. So, like, Stevenson and being undefeated and just shutting dudes out, not really losing more than 3 rounds in any given fight, like, if that.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, no close fights with that guy whatsoever.
Yeah, so you just factor in that. Yeah, I feel like number 7 is, like, great. He keeps winning. He'll definitely climb up that list. After that, Haney, who's undisputed. If you're undisputed and you haven't had a crazy hiccup, then yeah, you're gonna make top 10. That's Haney, no doubt. You know, his story took a little while. You know, like the first few chapters weren't all that interesting. Then, you know, it got spicy, and then, you know, it kind of stalled out, but then it's like the world was like, look, man, y'all gonna read this fucking book.
Right.
And then that shit just took over like the coldest winter ever.
Absolutely, man. Good poet. I like the prose you're using, bro.
Word, thank you. I try. and so right now it's like Haney's up there. Like, you gotta give him his respect. For all the purists who hate jabs, he gave you a boxing lesson in the Kambosos fight. Shut the man up. So yeah, he's definitely top 10 pound for pound. Number 8, I feel like is a good spot. There we go. Number 9. Yeah, you know I was gonna have this nigga Canelo drop significantly. Like, I put emphasis on that shit. You cannot fucking have a 5-1, be a 5-1 favorite and get shut out like he did. No. I don't care about weight classes. I don't care about how much old boxing media suck your dick. I care about none of that shit. Oh shit. Oh yeah, shout outs. Yeah, I'm just now noticing all the fucking comments. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roma's in here. Yo, top 5. Yeah, shout out. Yeah, World is an op out. Android 1983. Yeah, shout outs.
Shout out to Henny God.
Yo, God, Henny got in this bitch. Okay, word. Dowson, Haney had the jab out like Dowson against Kambosos.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Kambosos looked like he took the damn the spinning hit too.
Exactly, right?
Shit looking like Yoga Flame, but yeah. So definitely Canelo number 9. Like, you dropped, but you know I couldn't have you drop off number, you know, top 10 because you still undisputed at super middleweight, even though you ain't fight the best super middleweights out there. But
yeah,
you know, that's neither here or there, because after the Golovkin fight, win or lose, you're gonna have to, and most likely lose. But then people gonna be like,
this nigga said most likely lose.
he can't be fighting Benavidez after fighting Golovkin. He's gonna need a light touch. So I know y'all hoes gonna be saying that shit. So whatever, I'm just prepared for it. But yeah, that undisputed super middleweight shit ain't gonna be hitting for nothing if you don't fight Benavidez by the end of 2023.
Right.
And that's law.
Or fight Charlo.
Nah, Benavidez, because you're talking about super middleweight. Charlo would be Charlo's another. See, look, real talk. This is what happened with Charlo now. Charlo is now the new Golovkin and Andre. He's gonna be that fight in the back burner Canelo could always go back to. So Charlo's gonna replace Golovkin in that aspect because Golovkin now got his number called.
Right.
Benavidez is gonna be the fight Canelo should make next. But if he was to fight Charlo, we all just gonna be like, fuck it, I'll take it. I've been wanting this fight since like how long? Like since like 2 divisions ago. Like like literally motherfucking fucking Guzman was headlining cards when we wanted to see this fight.
Right. Right.
so I'll leave it at that. You know, but yeah, so yeah, Canelo's number motherfucking 9. Deal with it. The motherfucker that made you deal with it is number 10, actually. And that's Bivol, because Canelo can't fall top 10. But if you beat him, you definitely top 10.
Right.
So, you know, that's how I look at it. You gotta, like some Highlander shit. You might not replace him, but you definitely up there. And he could go higher if he fights better people or he keeps on improving and doing what he do. If not, it is what it is. And number 11 is a motherfucker that's gonna make you realize it again. And that's Golovkin, because I mean, one of the best punchers in the game. If you have a top 5 punchers list in boxing, if Golovkin's not on that list, then slap yourself with a briefcase or some shit.
And he's got a top tier chin too. You had to give him his chin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, and just the ass whooping he beat up on that Toyota the other day. Like, I was just like amazed, like, 'cause that was a souped up Toyota that was like not backing down. Like,
right.
That was an off road vehicle that he tamed. So I'm just like, then he knocked all the wheels off. Like the Capcom, you know, buzzer was going off and shit. So yeah, so Golovkin's a number 11, and like I said, like, I've never seen him lose. I've seen people come close, you know, Jacobs and Derevyanchenko, but lose, no. So if I've never seen him lose, whether y'all want to say officially or unofficially, I can't just say he's not deserving the top 15.
Mm-hmm.
It just, he 40 and the whole inactivity, yada yada yada. So I get it, but you know, once he beat Canelo by KO, he'll jump to like, he'll probably take Crawford's spot, no lie, or Usyk, one of them niggas. Maybe even the monster. I don't know. Knocking out Canelo would be ridiculous.
It would be. It'd be glorious, actually.
Damn. So yeah. So you know, that's up for debate. After that, you got number 12, Fulton, because I feel like he's on the cusp. He's gonna have to run it back with Figueroa because I had him losing that shit, and that's the only reason he wasn't top 10. I'd had to really think hard, like, damn, how can I do this? But like I said, I seen him lose. I ain't see Golovkin lose, so that's why he's 12 and Golovkin's 11. It is what it is. But if someone had him reverse, I got no problem with that either.
Right.
After that, another legend, and you know, I've only seen him lose once, and it was a loss that, you know, it was one of those multiverse losses that shouldn't really even happen in the first place.
This nigga
with Sam Peter and James Toney too. Like, so if you ever like get you a pilot pack and you travel the multiverse, you end up seeing both those fights in the same universe. So that's all that is. But since I've only seen him lose once, and it was one of those bullshit type losses, and he come back. He top 15, so he's number 13. Roman Gonzalez, like easily one of the best. Basically, one of the best pressure fighters of all time. You see, I got a lot of them on the list. You know, sugarfoot, backfoot boxing bullshit. Although I do that myself. Fuck that. I know what I like and I know what I like to do. Nigga, it's a difference. I know it worked. And after that, we got Josh Taylor, who dropped significantly. Yeah, he dropped hard, and which is crazy because out of everybody here, I probably was the most high on him.
That's also true.
Cause yeah, like you could go back to some of our classic episodes. I'm the one who picked him to beat Prograde. Majority decision, by the way, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, those were happier days. Now he can't avoid the fucking straight left to save his life.
That's also facts.
So yeah, and him just refusing to just admit he lost, but at least he's running it back, so he gets credit for that. But yeah, he's still one of the top 15 and elite resume on some, like, he made every fight in his career count, so it doesn't even feel like he ever had a wasted fight like Leo Santa Cruz. So like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, like, and I don't even care, like, I know people always be like, oh, he's an asshole, and Jake Catterall was really exposed him and sunning him left and right, bullied him to the rematch. And shout out to Tarver for giving everybody the blueprint with that shit. Y'all lucky social media wasn't even on point like that with Tarver. the boxing talk days.
Yes, sir. I remember those days.
Man, it was crazy how him and Milanowski was beefing one time over the Magic Man name, and now these niggas is commentating together.
Yeah, this is pro box buddies.
yeah,
buddy shit. Yeah.
But Taylor 14 and number 15. Last but not least. Well, you know what? Least in this case, and last, actually. Everybody's favorite Eastern European fight stalling, combination throwing, 6-round waiting on some Hopkins shit. Lomachenko. Well, I feel like it's still one of the top 15, top best in the world, but after taking a loss, he dropped significantly, and yes, I predicted Teal would beat his ass, and yes, that's what I saw. And yes, Lomachenko fought his leftovers, and yes, he looked real impressive, but yes, I don't care because those are leftovers. I don't care how good you cook somebody else's food, nigga.
Talk about it.
I'm just saying, like, in the way boxing media been sucking your dick this whole time, it's disgusting. But you earn some respect in the game, definitely. And I ain't gonna shit on you, like, shit, you Lomachenko, like, you that dude. but still, like, you know, you just gotta be real about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, dudes giving you praise for fights for 8 years ago, and then dudes is fact checking y'all like, hold on, y'all wouldn't even hype it up Turbo Fist like that. Now y'all care? Like, nah. So niggas had to fact check y'all to death just to put respect on this man's name on some objective shit.
Yes, sir.
We get, you know, we objective as hell over here. Unless you a Canelo stan. But he's new, guys. Forgive him. He's new.
I ain't that new, but nah, I'm not even a Canelo stan like that, man. I'm not a Canelo stan like that.
But nah, I remember PJ had like Tyson Fury as like #1, and we grilled that nigga too. So
yeah, we did.
He was like, man, you know, I wasn't taking this that serious, man. I don't, you know, I ain't on it like that with y'all. He was like, yo, what is this? Tyson Fury #1? Like, you serious? Like,
oh yeah, I remember that.
it's like, if this was prolific list, this would have made perfect sense. But from you, I don't know, that shit just came off weird, like random as fuck.
Yeah, we gave him grief.
So yeah, that rounds it out. You know, Lomachenko 15. I give my list a A++ because it's a real nigga list. So
this nigga's been feeling himself all fucking week. You know, for the last week or so. I mean, but
I don't think there's no big, you know, complaints on my list. I mean, I think everything's explainable.
No,
I mean, objections. I mean, is there any glaring, you know, where you'd be like, nah, nigga, move him out. Switch this up. Nah, I disagree.
No, not really. I mean, you have Lomachenko at 15, you know, and I definitely agree with that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I mean, you have Triple G on there, so I mean, that's always a plus, you know, because like I said, you know, me and you both Triple G on this shit, you know.
It's these new niggas that don't respect no Triple G.
You know what I'm saying?
The guys who never beat the damn Street Fighter bonus level don't fuck with Triple G. It's cool. It's cool. Y'all probably like the whole jumping shit with the barrels, but real niggas fuck with that car. Maybe that's a Florida thing. I don't know. Like, niggas grew up with random parked cars and shit. I remember these niggas took apart Wade car down here, like after the championship. Like, what the fuck?
But no, your list, you know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with your list. I mean, everything explained, and like I said, there was nothing glaring, you know, obviously. You know, Chocolatito, at least, you know, I mean, at least he had the Martinez fight, you know, that he had to tell niggas that he was that dude, you know, and took that dude apart, you know what I'm saying? You know, but yeah, nothing there that was glaring to me. You know, I don't know about P and Pilot though.
And I ain't show no Bam love. I guess they're gonna be like, you know, you's an old head.
No, I feel it. I mean, Canelo dropping, I get it, but yeah, whatever. Anywhere from like 3 to 10, I'm cool with on Canelo. He's still in the top 10 though.
Right. Yeah, I ain't sure. Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're not. I mean, just because we have jokes for Canelo, but it doesn't mean we can't be objective with like where he's ranked.
Yeah, no doubt, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, dude is clearly done enough to be within the top 10. You know. But yeah. See, that's our pound for pound list, though. Like I said, I mean, pound for pound, like it's a controversial topic, and I think almost on a weekly basis, at least, maybe even after a couple of days, you keep on seeing like this, then at first. But to me, it's good. It's great that you have all this movement, because that means all the right fights are being made, and you get to rank the fighters accordingly, rather than and honestly, that's what it needs. Like, if this is a way to to have the fighters try to motivate the fighters to actually take the best fights out there for people, yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So, but yeah, I mean, obviously, if you guys have any objections to our pound for list, clearly, put it in the comments. When this is like fully posted on YouTube and everything like that, let us know. Trust me, like and if you feel some sort of way, say it with your chest. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll gladly respond in kind. So. And like I said, and if you come here bashing Monster and you don't know his division or who he's fought, then fuck you in advance. Like, you know, yeah, you'll get dealt with in the comments.
Fuck you and your mother.
Yeah. And then Lone Star Steph, I seen he made an appearance. You know, he's like, "Woo, made it, dudes. Late evening, all gents." You know, I kicked out Canelo. Love old boy, but no smoke since Triple G 2, and took a historic ass whooping last out. Yep. Can't disagree with that. Everything about this set was very factual. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but yeah, absolutely, yeah. You know, like I said, just let us know what you think about our rankings. You know, share it, retweet it. You know, talk about it, and you know, tag each of us individually if you want to be that particular. Like, we'll be glad to talk about it, explain, reply back to you, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Like, what's up with this pilot list now? I disagree with Shutter's number 12.
Yeah, we gotta have a little bit of debate.
Yeah,
yeah, of course. You know, but like
that's what makes it fun. And just you know, when people just get hateful and mean about this shit, that's when it's like, yo, chill, we just having fun, yo.
Yeah, it's all in the end. It's always you know, we take our pound for pound list seriously, but it's all about the jokes, though. You know, like I said, you know, without the jokes, the pound for pound list is kind of like, yeah,
right, exactly,
yeah, because in the end, we all expect a lot from. I mean, we as you know, as boxing fans and hardcore fans at that, we expect a lot of fight. You know, we expect a lot from the fighters. We expect them to actually want to do great things, to be great, all that stuff. So we can rank them in kind, so we can say, hey, yeah, they deserve to get all the accolades that they are getting, and you can actually understand why they're doing it.
Yeah, because now with you know, with the Hall of Very Good being a thing now, it's like you gotta use pound for pound to kind of evaluate dudes' careers.
Absolutely.
These niggas ain't Hall of Fame like
more than ever. More than ever. Because it's gonna be a graded curve now for Hall of Fame, right? So it's like, I guess
how long was he pound for pound? You know,
how many weeks or whatever, how many months?
Right.
Or years without them slow this sport run.
Well, for certain lists, because again, like Pat mentioned, Jermell Charlo wasn't on one of the biggest boxing platform lists for a long time. So I don't think he was even on last time, which is some bullshit, but whatever.
Yeah, no, he definitely was.
Yeah, but he's been on like Ring Gang pound for pound lists for like years.
We the real. But I'm talking about the ones with the big, larger platform. You know, the worldwide leader in sports.
Oh, the ones that we're conveniently ignoring because of this type of shit. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see how important they are next year and the year after.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think you know, come to the end of our show for tonight. You know, obviously, you know, I mean, this will be posted, and you know, and then you'll get to hear all rankings in their full glory, unedited glory, and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, I won't do final thoughts because, like I said, we did final thoughts the other night. You know,
the world is out, nigga. That's it. That's my final.
There we go. That's the final thought. Yeah. So for myself, Pat Scorpion, the New England representative, for LB Shuttleworth, the God, the GOAT artist, for King P, Bodega P, and for Conscious Pilot. You know, this has been another wonderful episode of Real Talk. Where, as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. So until next time, peace.
Peace.